constellation of Orion and travels the mere matter of a few trillions of miles over to the constellation of Leo the Light. As you see on the light of the ceiling, this brilliant group of stars is more shaped like a sickle than a lion. That brilliant star at the end of the handle is Regulus. Toward the north, a few more billions of trillions of miles, we come to the constellation of Plutus, the Huntsman, shaped like a kite. At the end of the tail, you will see that famous star Arcturus, which was just as familiar to the ancient people as it is to us today. It's the handle of the Big Dipper, or more properly, Ursa Major, were extended a few billions of miles. It would include Arcturus. Arcturus is sometimes called Job Star because he is mentioned in the book of Job. During the summer months, Arcturus becomes one of the 3 brightest stars in the heavens. In this latitude, it begins to appear in March and reaches its highest point in June. And although we may say Arcturus is one of our nearest neighbors, it is interesting to know that its light, traveling at a tremendous speed of 186,000 miles per second, takes 40 years to reach our Earth.
What happened? What happened?
Open that door. Turn on those lights. Yes. Lock that door, Jim. Don't let anyone out. Lock that.
Dr. Stone.
And whoever shot him is still in this room. With a gun.
He's still in the room, but he wouldn't be so foolish as to have the gun. You see?
Don't touch anything until the police get here.
You're right, of course. It's evident this affair was very carefully planned.
Particularly as to time and place.
I'll call the homicide department.
Look here, Toby. You know everybody in this room, don't you?
I believe so, Manning. Why?
Why not let us go and give the police our names and address?
That's impossible. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but under the circumstances, there's nothing left for me to do but to detain you until the police get here.
Pardon me.
It's all right.
Now, wait a minute, young lady. What's your rush?
What do you care? You're not a speed cop.
Say, are you the one that used that guy in there for a target?
Oh, no. I'm the body.
Now, wait a minute, sister. What's your name?
Well, if I'm your sister, you ought to know.
Come on, tell me. What's your name?
Hey, Flatfoot. Who do you think you're talking to?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out.
All right, all right. I'm Kay Palmer from the Post-Chronicle, and I'm trying to phone my paper.
All right, run along and phone your paper. But stick around. I want to talk to you later.
You won't forget, will you?
You bet I won't.
You shouldn't. They say an elephant never forgets.
Who's who around here?
I'm Trowbridge, the astronomer in charge of the observatory.
Yes, I've heard of it. I'm Mallory of the Homicide Squad. This is Dr. Ross, Detective Regan.
How do you do, gentlemen? Mr. Langsdale and Mr. Morgan of my staff.
How do you do? Well, what's this? Who is he?
Dr. Stone.
All right, Doc. All right, boys. Regan, clear everybody out of here and we get through.
Okay, Chief. Outside, everybody. Come on. Outside. This way out. Come on, move faster up front.
Here you are, Bill. See what you can find on that.
Say, what kind of a place is this?
It's a planetarium, kind of a magic lantern show. How does it work? Well, you see that doodad there throws light on the ceiling, which represents the stars. There's only 3 of these places in the United States, and about 20 of them in Europe.
Gee, Mac, I could kiss you. You send me up to this forsaken hilltop, and what happens? A big fat murder drops right in my lap.
Murder? Who was it?
Dr. Frederick Stone, the big anesthetic king.
Stone dead?
Yeah, Stone dead. How do you think of him, Mac?
Well, who's in charge?
Lieutenant Mallory.
Mallory? That dumb cluck.
Hey, what do you mean he's a dumb cluck? He's swell.
Swell-headed. Well, all right. Well, let's have it.
Did you know Dr. Stone very well?
Just an acquaintance.
Did he come here very often?
No, he came occasionally for the lectures. Astronomy was just a hobby with him.
Quite a crowd you had here tonight.
Well, you see, these people were invited guests. It was a very special occasion. Hearing a celebrity like Professor Einfeld.
Oh, yes. The newspapers made quite a fuss about him, haven't they?
Well, naturally. Einfeld ranks as one of the 3 great scientists of the world.
Trowbridge, are you positive no one could have made an escape after that shot was fired?
Absolutely. I had my watchman, Jim Gray, lock that door immediately.
Gray, tell me. Were you near enough the door to be sure that no one got out?
Oh, yes, sir. I was sitting right beside it. It's a dreadful thing, isn't it, sir? Bad for the observatory, too.
Yes, but we won't bother about that now. Been with you long?
About 10 years, ever since I took charge here. Oh, I'd like to have you meet Professor Einfeld. Professor, this is Mr. Mallory.
How do you know, Professor?
How did you, sir?
Professor, did you know Dr. Stone?
No, I'm sorry. I did not know the gentleman.
Oh, they tell me that you're going to leave pretty soon to go back home.
It is true. With a little luck and clear skies, I expect to finish my work this week.
Professor, just exactly what are you working on?
I'm completing my observations on the star Arcturus.
Oh, yes. I've heard of Arcturus.
Yeah?
Here you are, Chief. Not a fingerprint in a carload.
All right, thanks. I'll keep it. Oh, Mr. Trowbridge, about Langsdale. How long has he been with you?
He only came yesterday, but I've known him for years. I can vouch for him as well as I can for more.
Case is all yours, Mallory. He was shot through the heart.
All right, Doc, thanks. Send in the stretcher, will you?
Sure. I'll have my formal report for you at headquarters.
Okay.
No, you don't. Mallory's orders.
You don't mean me. I'm a newspaper reporter.
I couldn't let you in if you was a quintuplet.
Well, is he finished in there yet?
I don't know.
Has he arrested anyone yet?
I don't know.
Well, if all the things you don't know were laid end to end, it would certainly make an awful mess, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
What I thought.
All right, folks, let's do, please.
Hey, you, come back here.
Yeah, now, wait a minute. Regan, I thought I told you to keep everybody out of here.
But I'm not everybody.
Now, please, will you go outside? This is no place for you.
My place is by your side.
Your place is outside.
Lieutenant, I'm asking you like a lady. Will you please see me and let me get back to my paper?
After that elephant crack, I can't see you at all.
Maybe I was wrong calling you an elephant. But after all, an elephant's a flatfoot, too. You...
Look out now. Anything you say will be used against you.
What about what I think?
You can go as far as you like.
Well, if what I think about you could be used against me, I'd get the chair.
Stay out until I'm ready to question. Regan, see that she stays here.
Halfwit.
What?
I called you a halfwit, but I'm wrong. It'd take you and Mallory both to make one.
Well, so I'm a halfwit, am I?
That promotes you.
All right, boys, bring it out. Open up there. Make room. Everyone, please, inside. Everyone but you.
What do you mean, not me?
You heard me.
Sure I did, Copper, and I'm asking you what it's all about.
We'll discuss that later. In the meantime, you stick around and like it.
I'm warning you. This is going to cost you a lot of sleepless afternoons.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm awfully sorry to cause all this inconvenience, but if you'll help me, I'll be as brief as possible. Will you all kindly take the seats you were occupying at the time the shot was fired? Thank you. As you all realize, ladies and gentlemen, one of you has committed a murder. Now, who or why, we haven't found out yet, but we hope to find very soon. Now, from the examination of the wound, it would indicate that the shot came from that direction.
That's right. He came from back here.
It came from over my shoulder.
Did you look around to see who did the shooting?
Of course I did. But there wasn't anybody there then.
Well, where did the person come from?
I don't know. I didn't even know there was anybody there.
Did anyone else hear or see anybody back there? He must have moved into the position very quietly, fired, dropped down, and crawled away again. Does anyone recall a person moving from his seat just before the shot was fired?
Yes, I do.
You say someone moved from over here?
Yes. Someone got up and moved from this seat a short time before the shot.
That's right, Lieutenant. I remember.
I see. Was it a man or was it a woman?
A man.
Yes, it was a man.
Did you get a good look at him?
No, he sat down after the lights were turned off.
What do you say?
I couldn't see him either.
Well, wasn't there something distinctive about him? I mean...
Yes, there was. He had a beard.
You're mistaken. He was smooth-faced.
Oh, that's a great help. He must have had a beard on one side of his face and clean-shaven on the other.
Yes, well, I'm sure I'm right.
No, lady, you're wrong.
Professor Reinfeld, were you standing here when the shot was fired?
Ja, Lieutenant. I was standing right on this spot.
Facing in that direction?
Ja.
And you're sure you didn't see anyone move while you were speaking?
Well, I couldn't be too positive. You see, I may have been looking up.
I see. Thank you. Morgan, you were operating the machine when Dr. Stone was killed?
Yes, I was.
Did anyone pass you moving across the floor?
No, I'm sure they didn't.
Thank you. Mr. Trowbridge, you told me that all these people were invited guests. Do you know everyone here?
All except one person.
Who is that?
That gentleman.
Did you have an invitation to come here tonight?
Certainly.
May I see it, please?
I must have lost it.
Oh, I see. What is your name?
Hedru Ahmad.
Mr. Crowbridge, is that name on your list?
No, sir, it is not.
Did you know Dr. Stone?
No, I didn't.
Did you know Dr. Stone was coming here tonight?
Since I didn't know him, why should I be interested?
Answer my question. Did you know Dr. Stone was coming here tonight?
No.
That's a lie.
You seem pretty positive. Who are you?
Gorman. Clay Gorman.
Did you know Dr. Stone?
Naturally, I was his personal secretary.
What makes you say this man was lying?
Because I heard Dr. Stone tell him he was coming here tonight.
Oh, I see. They were friends.
No,
Enemies, would you say?
without a doubt.
What makes you say that?
Because I heard them quarreling violently.
Quarreling about what?
Well, about money matters. Yesterday, Ahmed called up and demanded to see Dr. Stone tonight. I overheard it all on an extension phone.
Go on.
The doctor told Ahmed he was coming here and refused to see him.
Well, and?
Then I heard Ahmed tell the doctor that he was going to kill him.
So you came here tonight to kill Dr. Stone?
Yes.
And you killed him?
No. Someone saved me the trouble.
Reagan.
Yes, Chief.
We'll talk it over later. Tell the boys to see that this gentleman gets to jail safely.
Right.
I'll book him later.
Step on it, buddy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you may leave now, and thank you. Until we meet again. Mr. Trowbridge, I'd like to see you before I leave.
Very well. I'll be waiting in my office.
Thank you.
I'll go with you.
Oh, Gorman,
Yes, sir?
are you interested in astronomy?
No, not particularly.
Well, does attending lectures on stars come under the heading of your job as secretary?
No.
Oh, did Dr. Stone know you were coming?
No.
Well, why did you come?
Well, to try to protect Dr. Stone.
Oh, I see. From our friend?
Yes.
A fine bodyguard you are, Gorman. Letting the murderer take your own gun right out of your pocket. Here. Be more careful the next time.
That isn't my gun.
Well, don't tell me you're playing bodyguard without a gun.
No. I have a gun.
And a permit to carry it? All right, thank you, Gorman.
Is that all?
No. I don't want you to leave the city.
Yes, sir.
Well, well, well. Together again. Must be old homicide week.
You had it coming to you, young lady. Now, wait a minute. Don't say anything you're going to regret.
Maybe you're right. Well, what about those questions you were going to ask me? Or can you remember them?
Uh-huh. How old are you?
23. It's none of your business.
Married?
Certainly. For my job.
Any children?
Yes. Brain children. That's more than you can say.
Seriously, now, what can you tell me about this murder?
Read my newspaper in the morning. You can read, can't you? Any more questions?
Yeah. What are you doing tomorrow night?
Is that what you kept me here all this time to ask?
That's all.
This is a fine indictment against the police department. I always thought you got along with these newspaper reporters.
Yeah, but this one's different.
Well, if he's going to stay on this story, you better watch out for him.
For him, D.A., it's a girl.
So much the worse. Some of these women newspaper reporters are poison.
Not this one. She's swell.
She must be, if you say so. Are you pretty sure the Hindu did it?
No.
What do you mean, no?
Well, I don't think he did.
Why, you've got him under arrest for murder.
That's what the newspapers say. The guy's booked for illegal entry into the country.
What about Gorman, Stone's secretary? Oh, his gun hadn't been fired, had it?
Well, we might have had two of them.
Well, who do you think did it?
Well, if I knew that, the case would be closed.
Now, listen, Mallory. This is one killing we've got to clean up quickly. Because it's going to be in the limelight from now on. On account of Einfeld and the unusual circumstances.
The election's coming up. Well, okay, D.A., I'm doing the best I can.
Well, then you're doing something besides getting messed up with girl reporters.
Well, I'm on my way to the observatory. Oh, by the way, don't make a mistake and release that Hindu.
But if he's not guilty.
He's part of my plan. So long. Come in. Hello, Lieutenant. Well, I tell you seem pretty busy.
Yes, I'm finding it necessary to brush up a bit for the new job. 10 or 15 years away from it doesn't help any.
Trowbridge tells me you've been in New York. What were you doing?
I'm going to be perfectly frank with you, Lieutenant. I've been in prison. I was released a week ago today.
What were you doing time for?
Assault with intent to murder.
Who did you try to kill? A man named Griffith. Tell me, is Langsdale your right name?
My name is George Fremont.
Why the alias?
I served my full time. I've paid my so-called debt to society, and I want to make another start with a new name.
Have you known Trowbridge very long?
We were students together at the Sorbonne in Paris.
I see. I suppose you're an astronomer?
Yes, among other things. A sort of scientific jack of all trades.
Well, thank you, Langsdale. Anything new on the murder? Were you expecting something new?
No, I just wondered if the Hindu had confessed.
Not yet. By the way, don't take any long trips. It's you, that is.
Come in, Lieutenant.
Come on.
Did you find Langsdale?
Yes, he told me something that you should have told me last night.
Well, I thought it best for him to tell you. I hoped he would, and I'm very glad he did.
Perhaps you're right. Is Arnfeld around?
Oh, yes. I'll tell him you want to see him.
Oh, don't bother. That's
Well, I must see him myself, Lieutenant, if you'll excuse me for a few moments.
Sit down, Morgan. I want to talk to you. You had charge of mailing out those invitations, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Did you send one to Dr. McDonald out at the university?
Yes, I did.
Seems strange that the Hindu got it instead, don't you think?
Yes, it does.
Morgan, you sent the Hindu that invitation, didn't you? Well, didn't you?
Yes.
Why didn't you tell me that last night?
Well, I sold the invitation. Ahmad paid me $100 for it.
Oh, now we're getting somewhere. Why did you sell it?
I give you my word, Lieutenant. I didn't see any harm in doing it. And I needed that money. If Mr. Trowbridge finds this out, he'll discharge me.
Is that all?
Yes. You believe me, don't you?
Oh, yes, of course. But I want to talk to you again, so stick around where I can get in touch with you.
Come in, please.
Good morning, Professor.
Good morning, Lieutenant. Please sit down, would you?
Thank you. Well, Professor, how do you feel after last night's excitement?
My, oh my, oh my. What a terrible thing. Never in my life have I been so close by a murder.
I hardly expected to see you here so early this morning.
Why not?
Well, I thought last night's affair might have upset you, so you wouldn't want to go on with your work.
No. If the weatherman is nice to me, maybe in 2 or 3 nights I finish up on everything and start back home.
Well, I'm sure everybody will be sorry to see you go.
Everybody has been just wonderful to me in this country. Almost sometimes I change my mind and stay here.
You'll be back.
Oh, yeah, many times.
So you and Dr. Stone were pretty good friends, eh?
No. I told you I did not know the man.
Oh, yes. Yes, I remember now. Professor, you ought to have been able to see what was going on in that room last night, standing where you were.
I did see something, maybe which I should have told you about. I saw... Come in. Yes, Jim?
There are the papers from Mr. Trowbridge you asked me to get, sir.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you. Thank you all.
Professor, you were about to tell me what you saw last night.
Oh, yes. Lieutenant, I saw a gentleman kiss a lady when his mind should have been on Arcturus.
Well, I won't keep you from your stars. I'll see you later.
Thank you.
I told you no. Hey, You don't call this a story, do you?
Honestly, Mac, I'll have something better later.
You bet you will.
Well, the DA won't talk, and neither will Mallory. He seems to be sore at me for some reason or other.
And that was a bright stunt razzing Mallory. It's hard enough to get anything out of him anyway.
You telling me?
How about Regan?
I'm on my way to see him now, and will I have something?
You'd better.
Well, goodbye now.
Hello, Big Chief Wooden Puss. Is that Mug Mallory ready to see us now?
He's out. Besides, he ain't seeing no newspaper guys. Says when he is, he'll send for you.
Look, old shipmate, you and I have always been just like that. Tell us, what's the lowdown on the observatory killing?
I don't know a thing.
You're telling us. Come on, Jerry. Let's go dig up some real news. What's a measly murder? We'll go find a tree biting a dog. Brother, that would be news. Well, look who's here. Little girl who went to see the stars last night and stayed to make Scopy.
Well, that's what bad little reporters get for cutting lectures.
Gee, you scared me. I thought it was a district attorney or something.
After running around circles the way you do, it must feel great to have a good desk under your feet again.
Yeah.
Well, where's the gigantic intellect?
Out. Be back in an hour.
I suppose the Hindus confessed and the case is all solved.
What do you think?
I think they ought to take you and Mallory off the case and call in the Boy Scouts.
Oh, yeah?
Decidedly, yeah. You and Mallory couldn't find a bass drum in a telephone booth.
Listen, sister. What if I was to tell you that this case is in the bag, all tied up?
Well, I'd say that you were taking improper liberties with the truth.
That's what you think.
Regan, you're kidding. You don't mean this case is solved.
You wait about 24 hours.
You mean you'll actually know in 24 hours who the murderer was?
Easy. Maybe less.
Regan, you don't mean to say someone's going to confess.
No, but...
Oh, I know. Someone saw the murder and is going to tell you who did it.
Hey, wait a minute.
I've got it. Einfeld.
I never said it was Einfeld.
I didn't say you did, but it was Einfeld, wasn't it? And the Hindu is innocent.
Well, maybe...
I knew it. He is innocent. And Einfeld's going to tell you who the murderer was.
Gosh, you should be a detective.
So should you. And how is Einfeld going to be able to tell you? Wait a minute. Don't tell me. I know. He'll go into a trance. That's it. A trance. And he'll turn his wonderful mind back to that fatal hour.
Hey, wait a minute.
Don't interrupt me when you're telling me a story like this, Regan.
I know.
Then he'll see the murderer in a vision. That's it. A vision. And he'll tell you who the murderer was. Is that right?
Sister, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Regan, you're a wonder. I take back everything I said about you and Mallory. You're smart. The both of you.
Hey, wait a minute. Well, she could be right. Exclusive interview yesterday with a Post-Chronicle reporter, a prominent member of the Detective Bureau revealed that Professor Ernst Einfeld has promised to go into a trance and name the person who committed the Star murder. Isn't that marvelous? So now we solve our crimes by making the people see the criminals in dreams.
I tell you, D.A., that story did not come from our department. I don't know any more about it than you do.
Then it was that Palmer girl. I'll have her fired. I'll run her out of town. I'll have her arrested for everything from porch climbing to horse stealing.
Oh, she's all right, D.A. She must have had something to base her story on.
Ah.
Oh. So you did shoot your mouth off to her after all, eh?
Yeah, but how was I to know that dumb dame believed what I said? I was just kidding her. Well, I'm not kidding. It's going to cost you a 6-month layoff, Regan, unless Mallory finishes this case by the end of the week. Call up that Palmer dame and see what she really knows.
She doesn't know a thing. But maybe Einfeld does. Come on, stoop.
I gave you a chance to tell me everything you knew. You should have told me instead of holding back information.
I know absolutely nothing, Lieutenant. Why, this story is ridiculous. I can't go into a trance.
Yet you hinted at the Palmer girl that you knew who the murderer is.
Certainly not.
You numb-brained. Professor, you're on the spot. And you'd better tell me everything you really know about that murder.
I know nothing, I tell you.
But the man who killed Stone may think you do and try and kill you.
No, Lieutenant. You mustn't think such things.
Understand, Professor, I'm not ordering you to stay here in your room, but I'm advising you to do so.
Hello? Yes?
What's the matter?
You're right. Somebody said he was going to kill me.
Hello. Hello, this is the police. Try and trace that call. Did you recognize the voice?
No, I didn't. The voice seemed disguised.
Oh. All right. Thank you. Too late. You shouldn't have hung up. Well, we'll have to keep you guarded day and night from now on.
Why should somebody try to kill me? I know nothing about a murder.
But whoever threatened you thinks you do, and it's all the same.
But my work, I must finish it.
Were you going to the observatory tonight?
Yeah.
Then by all means go. Whoever wants to kill you will probably be there.
Then why should I go?
I'll have my men all over the place, and we might be able to nab him.
All right.
Come in.
Mr. Gorman to see you, Mr. Trowbridge.
Oh, hello, Gorman. I'm returning one of your books, Dr. Stonebard. Well, it's really Dr. Einfeld's. See that he gets that, will you, please? Trowbridge speaking. Oh, yes, Lieutenant. Dr. Einfeld. Good heavens. I was afraid of that. He's coming down anyway? I see. Yes. Of course. I'll attend to it. Someone has threatened to kill Einfeld. Mallory's bringing him here tonight under guard. Under guard? Yes. You get Langsdale and Jim.
You're not to leave this room today. Regan, you stay here until the boys from headquarters show up.
Right.
And no one is to see him. Under any circumstances. That goes double for newspaper reporters. I'll be back here tonight to take you to the observatory myself.
Lieutenant, I'm sorry to cause you all this trouble, but I know nothing about this murder. You believe me, don't you?
Oh, yes, sure I believe it.
Help yourself.
Come in.
You sent for us, Mr. Trowbridge?
Yes. Jim, I want you to clear this place of visitors by 5 o'clock.
Is something wrong, sir?
Very much so. Dr. Einfeld's life has been threatened. Lieutenant Mallory thinks he can make an arrest here tonight.
Will the professor be here as usual?
Yes, with police protection. Mallory will have his men inside and out.
Is there anything else you want me to do, sir?
Yes, I want you to search this building from top to bottom. Make sure that nobody is around except those who have business here.
Right away, sir.
Langsdale, will you please see that Dr. Einfeld's papers are taken from his office and put in the observatory?
I'll attend to it. Are you going to stop in Mr. Trowbridge's office, Lieutenant? Hello, Jim.
Well, how do you do, Lieutenant Mallory? I'm just straightening up Professor's room a little.
Yeah, so I see.
Yes, he likes to have everything just so, sir.
Arcturus. Oh, hello, Lieutenant. Hello, Langdale. Just looking around a bit. Getting ready for tonight? Yes. Say, by the way, you never did tell me why you tried to kill that man Griffith. You never asked me. So what was the trouble? Griffith and I worked in the same laboratory. I invented a valuable chemical formula. He stole it and managed to patent it himself. When I found it out, well... What happened to Griffith? I don't know. He dropped out of sight completely. Say, you know, I'm interested in astronomy. I wish I knew more about it. Why don't you drop up and talk with us whenever you get an opportunity? We'd be glad to have you. I'd like to. It's an ancient science, isn't it? Very. The movements of the stars were well known even before telescopes were invented.
That's amazing. Now, this star Arcturus that the professor is working on, they tell me it's called Job's star.
Yes. That's because it's mentioned in the book of Job.
I'd like to read up on that star. You haven't got something you can lend me, have you?
I'm sorry I did have, but I must have loaned it to someone.
Oh, well. Plenty of time on the other time. By the way, you'll be here tonight, won't you?
Yes, of course.
Well, my goodness, if it isn't home sweet homicide. Nice of you to call.
Of all fantastic, silly newspaper lies I've ever read, your story is a payoff.
Keep your badge on, homicide. That story came from the police department. Don't forget that.
Well, you had no business to use it.
I had a perfect right. Of course, I admit I suggested most of the ideas. But Regan yesed me on every one of them. And he didn't say not to quote him.
Well, Regan was just stringing you.
Imagine Regan stringing anybody. I said I'd get even reviews, and I've done it.
You've done more than you realize.
Meaning what?
Miss Palmer, I don't care a steam-heated hoot what you say about me. I can take it. But when you wrote that ridiculous story, did you stop to think that the person who killed Dr. Stone would read it? And not knowing it was the result of your genius for invention, might take it seriously and try to put Einfeld out of the way to shut him up? Did you stop to think you put that old man's life in danger? Think it over. Everything all right, Patterson?
Yes, so far, Chief.
All right, keep your eyes open. You know the orders.
Yes, sir.
Come in. Hello, Professor. You should be able to finish your last night without interruption.
My last night. Heaven forbid.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way.
No, you have nothing to worry about tonight.
Everything's ready and waiting, Professor.
Thank you.
May I use your phone, Mr. Cole?
Oh, certainly. Help yourself.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, do you happen to know the Plaza Hotel number? Oh, yes. It's right there. Ridgeview, 2864.
Oh, thank you. Looking for somebody, lady?
Yes, I'm Kay Palmer from the Post-Chronicle, and I'm looking for Professor Einfeld.
Wait here and I'll find out if he wants to see you.
Thank you.
That's right. Relay all Professor Einfeld's calls to me here at the observatory. That's right. Thank you.
Regan, there's a girl here named Palmer from the Post-Chronicle. She wants to see Einfeld.
Wait a minute. She's here again?
Let her in, but keep her in.
Gotcha, Chief.
Well, I'd better start to work. But I have to stop at my office first and get my papers.
You won't need to. I had them all taken from your desk and put in the telescope room.
Thank you, Mr. Trowbridge. You are so thoughtful.
I'd like to take a look at that room before you go in.
Oh, Lieutenant, do you really think there is so much danger?
Why do you think I have all these men around here? I'll worry about that, not you.
So?
Good luck, Professor. I hope everything will be all right.
I hope so, too. Thank you.
Dr. Einfeld, I came up here tonight to tell you how sorry I am.
It's quite all right, Miss Palmer.
Please believe me. I wouldn't have caused you all this trouble for anything if I'd stopped to think.
Don't start thinking, Miss Palmer. You might strain yourself.
Okay, Flatfoot. I'll take it now, but I'll tell you later.
All right, Professor.
We're still friends, aren't we?
Why, of course.
Thank you.
Good night, Miss Palmer.
Good night. Oh, Mr. Regan.
No, I don't know a thing.
Swell view of the city lights from up here, Ed.
Yeah, I've never been up here before. Big place, isn't it?
Sure is. Takes a lot of guarding. Mallory must have a dozen of us up here. Inside and out.
A mosquito couldn't get to that old guy tonight.
I'll say it couldn't. You wait here a minute, Professor. I want to take a look around first. All right, Professor. Better take a look around, see that everything's working all right.
Good idea.
This place is guarded inside and out, Professor, so you'll be perfectly safe.
Thank you.
You sure you're not afraid?
No.
Well, if you are, you can use my gun.
Oh, no, thank you. I have a gun of my own right here in this drawer. That's strange. It's gone.
When did you use it last?
To tell you the truth, Lieutenant, I have never used it.
Nice night to work, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. The night is ideal. So clear, and the atmosphere so still. Arcturus is very bright tonight.
Arcturus is the star they used to open the Century of Progress in Chicago, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Which star is Arcturus?
That bright fellow there. At 9:08 exactly, he will be in the best position for me to do my work.
Professor, how can you tell the time so well?
Oh, the stars move on definite time schedules, just exactly like trains or the ocean tides.
There must be some book on the time of the stars, isn't there?
Oh, yes, good many here.
Yeah. I wonder if you have one that I could read.
Oh, yes, I got one right here among my papers. I'll let you take this along. Well, can't understand it. The page is torn out.
You have no idea who did it?
Oh, none whatever.
Professor, I wonder if I could look at that star before you started work.
Oh, no. That's impossible, Lieutenant. You see, the telescope is already adjusted to pick up Arcturus when he comes within the range exactly at 9:08.
Oh, yes, I see. Well, some other time.
There's a man wanting to see you, sir. He says it's very important. Who is it? He says he's the watchman from the observatory, sir. Well, let him come in. Very good, sir. This way, please. You want to see me?
Yes.
Sit down. What's on your mind?
I'm worried, sir, about Professor Einfeld.
I guess we all are.
Maybe I should have gone to Lieutenant Mallory about this, but
Go on.
it's about the murder of Dr. Stone, sir. While straightening up the professor's desk this morning, I found something that convinced me the professor did know Dr. Stone.
What do they mean? I can't get out of here?
My orders.
You haven't changed much since I first met you. Just a little grayer around the temples and a little thicker in the skull.
Locked. Better force it.
What's happened, Lieutenant?
Well, I won't know until I get inside. Have you got a key?
Yes.
All right, never mind, man.
Yes, that one. Einfeld.
He's dead. Murdered in spite of everything.
I think you're wrong, Lieutenant. It looks like suicide.
One shell fired. Morgan, did you know if Einfeld had a gun?
Yes, he did.
I see. Hello. Oh, yes, D.A.
Jim Gray is here. He says he has some very important information about the Stone murder and Professor Einfeld.
Einfeld? Einfeld's dead.
Dan? We'll be over immediately.
I'm sorry, folks, but you all have to leave until we finish in here. I'll send for you. Regan, have all the exits watched. Nobody is to leave this building. And get that medical examiner up here as fast as he can get. Right. Oh, Miss Palmer. You stay here, please.
Oh, thank you.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not doing you any favors.
Lieutenant, it's no use to tell you I'm sorry. I'm heartbroken about this.
Now, perhaps you can understand why I don't give information to the papers. And you can get an idea how much help the newspapers are to a detective. I suppose you're going to dash out now and phone in another murder, eh?
Well, I've got to. Dr. Einfeld's been murdered, hasn't he?
No.
Suicide?
Nope.
Well, if he hasn't committed suicide, he certainly must have been murdered.
Fortunately, I've been able to prevent that. All right, Professor Einfeld.
Oh, no, Miss Palmer. I'm not a ghost. Old Professor Einfeld just what you would call played possum.
Oh, I've never been so glad of anything in all my life.
Neither have I.
I'm sorry for the shock you had, Miss Palmer, but I wanted you to fully realize the results we might have had from such a crazy newspaper story.
Okay, homicide. I had it coming.
Well, we have a big job ahead of us. We have to find out who intended to do this murder and how he intended to do it. Dr. Einfeld, where were you standing when the shot was fired?
I was standing over there by the wall, just as you told me.
I see. Did you see the flash from the gun?
No, I was looking at the clock when I heard the sound.
What time was that?
Exactly 8 minutes past 9.
I see. Now, if you were working as you intended, where would you have been at the time of the shot?
I would have been sitting at the end of this platform, looking into my telescope.
And the gun was found here. No doubt you were supposed to be found dead, and it was to look like suicide.
Yes, but don't forget the powder burn.
Yes. That means the bullet had to come from a very close range. Hello. Photoelectric cells, huh? Is that part of the equipment, Doctor?
Yes, in a way. We use them sometimes photographing the stars and nebula.
Yes. Gunpowder. Do you use gunpowder on telescopes, Professor?
No.
Well, this is your firing mechanism, all right. Made out of a hollow pipe. Connected by wires to the photoelectric cells down below. Now, it's a regulation .38 caliber shell.
And the reflected light from the star made a contact and fired the shot.
Yes, and the telescope was adjusted to pick up Arcturus at exactly 9/8.
Why, that's the start of the Century Progress Fair in Chicago. I remember the publicity in the paper.
Whoever is responsible for that device had a fine knowledge of astronomy.
Or a recent knowledge of Arcturus. From the position of the gun, the bullet must have hit the wall over there, somewhere near the door. There's where the bullet hit.
Lieutenant, you will never know how happy I am that you came tonight.
That goes for me, too.
I'll take it. Hello? Yes, this is Mary.
Hey, wasn't there a guy named Craig Gorman mixed up in that star murder? You had him standing by, haven't you? That's what I figured. We just booked him. A couple of the boys picked him up doing 70. Yeah. Must have been taking it on the land. Had everything with him but his old razor blade. Sure. I'll send him up there. Right away. So long.
Pick up Coleman trying to get out of town. They're bringing him here.
That helps.
Yeah, maybe.
Say, Morgan saw that gun very suddenly. You suppose
I don't know. I got an idea. We're going to reload that thing up there. Somebody might get the surprise of his life. Hey, Professor, can you reset the telescope to pick up Arcturus and say, about 15 minutes?
certainly. There. At 9:30, I wouldn't like to stand in that spot.
Yes? Oh, Toby. Medical examiner? Well, bring him up, will you? Thanks.
Say, how's the medical examiner going to take us when he finds out his case has come to life?
I'm afraid you'll be sadly disappointed.
Wiggins. You put somebody else on this door, and you go downstairs and wait for the DA and Gorman. Have them wait.
Yes, sir.
Well, Professor, I guess you'll have to play dead again.
All right, Lieutenant.
Now, Miss Palmer, how does it feel not to get a murder story?
Great. This one will be better.
Yes, you'll get everything, I think. There we are. Come in.
My photographer and fingerprint man are on another case. They'll be up a little later.
All right, Doc.
Well, what have we here? All right. Before you start here, I have some notes for you.
Looks like murder, doesn't it?
Well, once you're wrong, Mallory. This man shot himself. Don't those powder burns mean anything to you? Are you sure it couldn't be murder? I'll let you have my suicide report in a very few minutes. Thanks, Doc.
Oh, Mr. Trowbridge, can we wait in your office?
Why, of course.
Thank you.
Oh, this is the way you look at the stars.
I'm thankful, Doctor, that I'm not nearer to the stars than I might have been.
Tell me about it.
Sit down. Now, you see, it was like this.
Who's this fellow, Lou?
Name's Gorman. Picked up for speeding. Now we talked to the station, said we should bring him up here.
He's up in the observatory, stairs to the left, end of the hall.
Okay. Come on.
You gentlemen can go ahead with your work until the doctor is finished if you want to.
I'm afraid work has stopped for tonight as far as we're concerned.
Yes, I can understand that.
Don't you want to telephone your paper, Miss Palmer?
No, thanks. I telephoned my suicide story from upstairs.
Here's the man you wanted, Mallory.
Oh, hello, Gorman. I'm sorry I had to spoil your little joyride.
Oh, that's all right. I changed my mind about going anyplace.
Yeah, that's a good idea sometimes. Stick around. We're going to have a little meeting.
Chief, the doc says to tell you he's through.
All right, folks, please.
So you see what a narrow escape I had.
Well, you better get under cover again, Professor. They'll be up here any moment.
I hope I don't catch cold lying dead here on the floor.
If you do, come down to the morgue, and I'll give you something to fix you up.
The morgue.
Held you up, eh?
I was arrested for speeding. I wouldn't mention that in your paper if I were you, Miss Palmer.
Oh, no.
All through, Doc?
Yes. Just waiting for the ambulance.
Is that where the body was found?
Yeah. And his gun here, right beside him.
Was it suicide?
Well, that's what the doc says. Gentlemen, I'm Miss Palmer. I gathered you here to tell you that the case is closed and to apologize for any inconvenience that I might have caused you. For what reasons, we do not know as yet. It is apparent that poor old Professor Reinfeldt shot and killed Dr. Stone. Then, tortured by his own conscience and unable to face it, he committed suicide. Here in this room, where nobody could reach him, the old man saw fit to make his tragic atonement. Trowbridge, you were worried about your friend, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
You were afraid he knew something he hadn't told.
Not at all. When I read that absurd article in the paper, I was afraid the murderer might believe it and make an attempt on Reinfeldt's life.
Naturally. I have an apology to make to you, Trowbridge. I confess that for a while I was very suspicious of you.
Why?
When I saw your telephone book conveniently open to Dr. Einfeldt's hotel number, I thought it possible that you had phoned a death threat.
Well, I did try to call the professor today. After reading that article, I wanted to warn him to be careful. But the line was busy. Then Gorman came in to return a book. And immediately after, you phoned me.
Mm-hmm. Of course, the professor faked that death threat for my benefit. Then, too, you took such care to let everyone know that the professor was going to be here tonight.
Oh, really,
I
Mallory?
just wanted you to know my reason. You will accept my apology?
Sir.
Thank you. Oh, Gorman.
Yes, sir?
I thought I had a good reason to suspect you.
Oh, that's all right, Mallory.
But anyone who returns a book must be honest. Or wasn't it a very good book?
I don't really know. It was a book on stars that Dr. Stone had borrowed.
Oh, I see. This one, perhaps?
Yes, that's it.
You weren't very careful with it, were you?
I didn't read it.
Oh, of course. Frankly, Gorman, when I found a shortage in your account of some $50,000, I thought you had a very good reason for killing Dr. Stone. It's our business to suspect everyone, of course. However, grand larceny is not murder, so we'll leave that to the Stone estate. I don't wonder you were leaving town. Regan, take care of this gentleman, will you?
All right.
Even you came in for your share, Morgan. Until the doctor convinced me that it was suicide, I was very suspicious of you. You seemed to detect that gun very quickly.
Well, it was obvious.
You knew Einfeldt had a gun, and you had such easy access to this room.
Yes, but why?
Well, I wasn't sure. It was just a moment's thought. That probably you could have planted the gun very easily. You see, just being a passing thought, why, I don't owe you as much an apology as I do Langsdale. Langsdale, I must admit that you came in for most of the consideration.
Why?
Because you tried to kill Dr. Stone once before.
I? Why, I didn't even know the man.
You seemed to know him pretty well before he made his first million and changed his name from Griffith.
Oh. He was Griffith. I remember now. I didn't see him until after he was dead. But there was something familiar about him. Something I couldn't quite place.
Now you can understand why I suspected you.
Well, I won't keep you all here indefinitely.
Oh, Jim. What was the news you had?
Why, it's too late now, sir. You found out that Professor Reinfeldt killed Dr. Stone.
How did you know that?
By this, sir. Professor Reinfeldt said he didn't know Dr. Stone. I found this in his desk.
To my good friend, Professor Reinfeldt. Frederick Stone. Well, this would cinch it, except
Except what, sir?
except that it's a forgery.
Really, sir?
There's a few things, Jim, that you seem to have overlooked. The first is that the night Dr. Stone was shot, Professor Reinfeldt wasn't the only person in the room that could move around without being noticed. The other person was you. The second thing is that if you had fired the shot at Dr. Stone, Professor Reinfeldt might have seen you. You believed he did, didn't you, Jim?
But I didn't fire any shots, sir.
Then when the newspaper article came out, you believed Professor Reinfeldt might remember having seen you. That worried you, didn't it, Jim?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You knew the professor was coming here tonight. You knew where he kept his gun and how to plant it for a suicide theory.
I didn't. I didn't know anything about it.
As a matter of fact, knew exactly what time the professor would die. You knew it so well that you were with the district attorney at the moment. A perfect alibi.
I didn't, I tell you.
And you knew enough not to show this trumped-up photograph until you had the district attorney himself assure you that your plan had been successful.
It's a lie. It's all lies, I tell you.
It was very clever, Jim. Almost genius. And everything would have been all right, except Professor Reinfeldt did not commit suicide as you planned.
It's all lies. You can't prove any of it.
All right, Professor Reinfeldt. Come here, please.
Reinfeldt. No, you didn't do it. I'll tell them you didn't. You didn't kill Dr. Stone. No. I didn't know what I was saying. I thought you knew it was me. Put up your hands. I'll shoot you. Nobody's going to arrest me for killing that murderer. He was a murderer, that doctor. He killed my boy. I put that thing on the telescope. I found out about the star from that book. I tore out the page. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I said
Jim, get away from there.
I'm the one gives orders now. I've got the gun.
Get away, I say. The telescope gun is loaded.
Jim. That's me. Tell the professor to forgive me.
Jim, why did you kill Dr. Stone?
He killed my boy. I found out it wasn't the operation. It was the anesthetic. He made it. Stone made it. He was responsible. He took the only thing I ever loved. My boy.
Miss Palmer, after you phone your paper, wait in the planetarium room.
Order? Lieutenant, isn't there something that I could do to show my gratitude?
Yes, there is. I'd like to know more about astronomy.
So, consequently, it is known both as the morning and the evening star. The ancients called it Hesperus when an evening star, and Phosphorus when a morning star. It is said that in the early history of our race, Hesperus and Phosphorus were not known to be the same body. Venus is at its greatest brightness about halfway between the interior of the sun and greater elongation. It then at about 2 hours after the sun is east of it, and rises about 2 hours before the sun is west of it. Venus, the brightest stars in the heavens, is only outshone by the sun and the moon. When it rises in the east of the sun, it may be seen in the west. And when it's seen in the west, it rises before sunrise and may be seen